welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome, and thank you for joining my beautiful family. If you are a returning supporter, a regular, a day one, welcome back, honey, and thank you so much for coming back through to support the girl. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe right now, because what are you doing if you are not subscribed? So I am joined here by my beautiful friend.
Join me.
Lasizwe.
My F. My F.
If you don't know Lasizwe, then I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Hi guys, my name is Lasizwe.
Is it Lasizwe or Normaizing you can see today? What do we have? Sorry, join me.
A bit of both.
A bit of both.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring out Tricky Baby because she's coming back. Let me I was trying to pull like let me try it again. No, Tricky Baby's back. Living with Africa season 2.
Yes.
No, season 3. Oh.
I'm so excited to see that.
Yeah,
I'm really
you're gonna
excited.
Love it. You're gonna love it. Like, you actually should have a cameo.
Can I be thinking side chick?
Who?
Thingy.
Yeah.
I'm a cute girl. Cute as a girl.
Actually, hey, oh
So guys, today we are going to be having a very easy, chilled conversation. Basically introducing a new segment to my channel. And this is the first video. You're the first feature. Aren't you excited?
I am, like, first of many. Like, we always do the first. Like, you were like a vlogger, beauty, what in my channel, acting. I'm here doing the first of everything. So in this segment, it is called Normalize Important Conversations. So I feel like around, as public figures or content creators, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with what we have. And you can obviously use your platforms for the good to educate people. But at the same time, there's so much pressure that comes from, audiences, or even people who are, secondhand followers, not even your own followers, where when you are taking that responsibility and you do speak out about anything, that can also be, misconstrued, or just like criticizing people, nitpick at it. So I moved away for the longest time from having a voice about anything, because I've always just really used my platforms for banter more than anything. And then obviously to push my love for makeup and content. And now I'm at a point where I'm just like, you know what? I get a lot of DMs from young girls who are always like to me, as much as people say things like, oh no, you're too open about, sex or whatever. Like, they appreciate those kind of conversations because it's not conversations they can have at home. So what I'm trying to improve on now is being able to have those conversations, but also educating people in the process. Like, I'm not just going to sit here and say a story time about my first time, but I'm also going to tell you about consent, and was it rape? Was I comfortable? You know what I mean? Mimi, you're growing, child. You're going, Maya Angelou. Oh.
We're gonna grow, honey.
Okay.
So, again, today's conversation is just the challenges that you face as a Black creative.
Yeah.
And also you being someone who's openly gay, and like how you've dealt with all of that. Ooh. So there's quite a few questions, and I want it to be a conversation. So if there's anything that you want to throw back at me, I don't want you to feel like under pressure that you have to carry this entire episode on your back.
Oh, my back hurts.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. The first question I have for you, friend, is: do you like being called an influencer? And what are your responsibilities as an influencer?
Oh, girl, why are you asking so many difficult questions?
What do you identify?
Like, to be honest, like, must I be very, very like the word influencer? For me, I don't like it.
Why?
Do you like it?
You know what? When I first started, there was a lot of talk around. It's not nice being called an influencer, rather digital entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But you know what? The reality is, if you're influential, you're an influencer.
Yeah, like, for me, I think there's a better word. Like, I don't like it because it sounds very, like, I worked very hard for my brand to be where it is today. Yeah. And, like, for someone to say, oh, no, he's an influencer, like, it sounds like an undermining term, like, oh, no, Instagram, oh, she just sells this, that. Like, you call yourself a makeup guru, digital what, like, you wouldn't see the man, you're shiner. For me, I'd rather call me like a public figure, because I'm not just someone that you see on the internet. I've got a reality show on MTV, I've got this, I've got businesses, I've got everything I do, I'm even YouTuber, but
don't call me an influencer. Like I don't like it, for real.
I feel like in a professional setting, I would like you to expand more, because I feel like influencer just narrows it down too much. Like someone could just amount you to having Instagram fame. Like there's YouTube. I'm also a YouTuber.
Yes, yeah,
and you actually create your own content. So you're also a content creator. So I get what you mean. And what would you think are your responsibilities, like considering everything that you have, the platforms that you have, the young people that follow you and look up to you?
Hey, my responsibilities, child. Child, we got so many responsibilities. There's one time where someone's mom actually came for me in the DMs. She was like, I know,
the role model.
I know. They were like, girl, you are a bad role model for my child. I'm like, girl, like I am not your child's mother or father. Yeah. You are the mother here. If you feel like I'm a bad role model for your child, tell your child to unfollow me. Like for real, because I'm here to speak my truth and tell my story. Now, if my story doesn't relate to whatever you want to teach your child, then it's your responsibility as their parents to say, I don't want you to have Instagram because I'm avoiding you from seeing certain things that Lasizwe or Mihlali are posting about.
I think another thing that parents forget is that firstly, you give your children access to all these platforms once you feel like they're at an appropriate age. Yeah. And you build the foundation of values, morals, everything at home. And the one thing that we do as public figures, I mean, we're young, we don't have kids. So I'm just living my truth and I'm sharing my truth with the world. And if I'm going through a phase of going out every single weekend, that's my truth. And I'd like to think that my audience is smart enough to take the good from me and possibly even learn from my own mistakes. Like when I got dragged, for example, for whatever the reason, you know? Yeah. So I always...
What did you get dragged for?
What have I not been dragged for? Anyway, so yeah. So the next question I wanted to ask you, I'd like to think of you as an entrepreneur. What are some of the challenges you deal with?
Like people taking you seriously. Like if you step into a boardroom, like we're very young, and then here we are demanding like figures and stuff. Like we're like, girl, if you don't give me this amount of money, chair, I'm out. And this is where, you know, like people sometimes think that when you say, oh, I charge this amount of money, they think,
you're thumb sucking.
Yeah, you're thumb sucking. And it's because we know what we're doing.
And you know how much work goes into it.
Exactly.
And also you don't work alone, you have an entire team.
I have a lot of people. And if now I do it for exposure, like, is exposure going to be my rent?
Are you going to eat exposure?
Am I going to eat exposure? Is exposure going to take me to signature? I don't think so.
Is it going to pour gas in your car?
I don't think so.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. So those are the challenges, especially when you're young. And where we're going now, like 10 years ago, celebrities never had the opportunity to be where we are now. Because there wasn't the Instagram or the Facebook or whatever. And now here is Instagram and Facebook, and we're like living our true color ourselves, and people are loving it. And they had to move from newspapers and radio, because back then to be relevant you had to be on newspapers, radios, and TV commercials, everything. And then here we are just on Instagram. You just post a picture saying, I take your man, I still keep mine. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's Mihlali.
I think what I really appreciate about social media, not only is it like another stream of income for entertainment, but it's also a platform that allows you to sort of write your own story and really be in control of what you put out. Whereas with traditional media, and that's why for the longest time celebrities weren't deemed relatable. Everything was very far off because we only see Bonang presenting and we only hear her on radio.
And
whereas
read
now
about
we get
her,
to see stories of Lasizwe in his house. And, you know, so we're sharing much more with people. So that's one thing I really appreciate. So what is your favorite part about your job? What do you find the most rewarding? So rewarding, and I want you to separate the favorite part. Favorite part can something be very light-hearted, like maybe even, you know, having the freedom to wake up at 10, for example. And then the most rewarding, like one moment where you felt like, this is my purpose, and I feel like I'm living it and I'm fulfilling it. Like, what was the most rewarding moment in your career?
I think the most rewarding moment in my career has to be waking up and doing what you love. Like, for real. Like, some people wake up in the morning like, oh my God, I have to go to work. Like, for me, I don't know about you, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, girl, which wig am I putting on today? Good morning, spirit! You know, I get paid to be me. Like, I get paid to enjoy doing what I love. Like, I don't know about you. What makes
Look
you?
at how I'm smiling because I can relate.
Yeah, like I mean, like you can wake up today and wonder, okay, guys, you kind of my Toyota, and then ding, in your bank account. You're just speaking your truth.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I think today's generation is all about. Like we can create different streams of income with not just the conventional way. Like who knew you would be a beauty influencer and get paid for it?
Exactly. And also, don't you love how like unapologetic our generation is about doing what we love? I really have to give you guys dab. Shout out to all the young people watching this. We prioritize our happiness so much that you're willing to do those free gigs and be broke until you can get to a point where you're now, naming your price.
And that's building street cred, like the free gigs. Like people don't understand. And I want to go back to the term of exposure. The word exposure is actually a currency. Like we now can say to you and I can say, no, we don't do it for exposure because we've built, we've ran the curation.
We did all the exposure.
We did all the exposure. Yes, excited guys, they gave me this and it's a process, it's a journey. You have to go through it in order to be one day successful. So you can understand, because at the end of the day, if someone had to ask me, would you go from 0 subscribers again? I'd say yes. Let's do it. Because I love what I do. Like, would you go from 0 subscribers again?
I would do it all over again.
I would do, like,
and I feel like the way I would want to do it even much better than what I did when I started. Because I felt like I was sort of like, dabbling and trying to figure out, find my ground and sort of teaching myself as I go along and like learning how to make this a business more than anything. If I could do it all over again, I think I would redo it and I'd probably be much further. Not that I regret my journey. I absolutely am.
Your journey is the best journey ever.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. So regarding price and exposure, at which point were you confident enough to name your price?
Sure.
And what?
These questions, yeah.
What did you do to get there? And it's not even a thing of speaking to an accountant, but even like emotionally.
Yeah, I think it's we all, like, besides the physical CV you see, it's also the mental CV you have in your head. That, okay, I've done this promo, I've done this, I've sent me this, I've done that, and you build your portfolio. As you build, you're like, okay, cool, I'm credible. Because when you sit down in that boardroom, you tell the person, hey, this is what I'm bringing. This is what I've worked with. I have how many this, my engagement, my following. I can say in my story, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I have this product, and people will be interested in your product, and that's what people want to hear. At the end of the day, as celebrities or public figures, we have the responsibility of making sure that our market, our network of people that we've built is safe, protected, because they are like, I know it sounds weird, but we're like their God for some odd reason, like, because they watch us and they're like, okay, cool, I see Mihlali, oh, she got that, I also want those lashes. Oh, Mihlali's wearing this, what lace is that? Oh, Mihlali's doing, like, so
it's in your interest to protect your clients at all costs.
My people, for my fans first before anyone else, because they relate to me. I tell them my story. If I'm sad, I tell them. If I'm happy, I tell them. Like, it's my people.
And I think also in that process, it's also very important to highlight the fact that you also need to protect your brand at all costs, even when you do have brand partnerships. And I sometimes fight with my management, hi Sivu, about this because, for example, you could give me a product to market, and people can easily say, or like there'll be a few people who'll be like, oh no, that product is bad quality anyway. But if I continue to market it, then it's not about the product anymore, it's about me. It's like I lose my credibility, my audience loses their trust in me, and that completely F's up my brand.
Yeah, because so you're marketing something that is not of your quality.
Exactly. And so that's also something young creatives or people who aspire to be this, that's something you should really prioritize and never, ever, ever trade that for a check, ever, ever. So fame equals wealth. What is your take on that? There's a lot of young people who assume that
fame equals wealth.
Or when you are famous, it means you're wealthy.
Never. There are people that are famous that don't have anything.
Yes.
Like, the wealth part is all up to you. Like, today, while we were setting up, you told me that you had to learn about like a rig, about lights, how to set it up. Like, there are people that go to school for that, and you had to learn along the way. When you are famous, it's your responsibility to make sure that besides your fame, there's other things you build on the side so that it equals wealth. That's why you get, for example, DJ Zintle. Oh, you know what? DJ Zintle is a good example. She's a boss ass with DJ Zintle. Girl, you know, with me, I call her my friend. Phela unamacicci, unama-sunglass, une-gymwear, unama-mask. Akho nto anganayo. My friend, they have airtime. Ukuthengisela airtime. When my friend, I just need airtime to organize it. And that is very important, because then people see Obazintle and say, okay, cool, she's working, she's doing this. And then you'll find some, I don't want to call us some celebrities, but you will see that in the Instagram, they show like the lifestyle, like it's amazing. They're on yachts, they're on jets, they take pictures with people's cars, which is no problem. It's your Instagram. Do your thing. If it's you,
but they have nothing to their name.
But they have nothing to your name.
Nothing to fall
and it's okay, but don't false market to us, because as your audience, people are inspired by what you see on Instagram.
Yes.
We're gonna go there, we're like, oh my god, Mihlali's driving a Ferrari. Hey, how?
And I think that's how also like a lot of black people get stuck in the cycle of poverty. Like, this is one of contributing factors. Obviously, I'm not trying to be shallow about it. There's a lot of other things that contribute to it. But that whole thing of, you know, that relative who comes to Joburg makes it, and then they go back home and they can't necessarily put the other siblings on.
Yeah.
Maybe some people, their riches come from, you know, a wealthy partner, which is all well and fair if that's what you want.
And it's okay.
No judgment. And then there's certain people who maybe don't even want to put other kids on. So even just seeing the hard work
putting
that goes
on,
into
let's tap into putting on. Putting on, like, it's a
not
different
not even putting on, like, friend, you put on people by putting out information there. You don't literally have to take everyone under your wing and mentor them. But we know that you're on YouTube. That's another, you know, form of income. And I'm sure you've given YouTube advice to people, for example. So that's just another way of putting on. So what was my point?
Your point is, child, I'm going to take your man and I'll still keep
So that was my whole point. So the whole point of that question is just to say that they what is it? Fame doesn't equal wealth.
Fame doesn't.
You need to be business minded, and you need to be able to utilize your fame to make the money.
And the thing is that in this industry, to turn it 20,000 last 6 months, because in the next 6 months, then you get a job.
Another gig,
my love. See, it's a very tricky industry.
And then also with that 20K, you have to put it back into your business to make more money.
Because, darling, it is all. And lapho ukumbutini lifestyle yakho ngithi you are a slave. Fana sikubone udla itash. Sikubone ungene zar. And it's 6 months akakapheli. Say a week. Ungene zar. Mihlali makathi, Mimi, let's go, babes. And on the pressure, don't pressure. Another thing, fame comes with so many pressures.
Ungazifakeli pressure. Ungazama ukukhompyutha nabantu. And I think you'll be at peace when you don't conform to those standards, guys. Honestly, and it's okay to do things at your own pace. It is so okay. It's okay not to like designer. It's okay to rather buy a big house and not buy a G-Wagon. Like, do what your heart desires and don't feel pressure from other people. So that's onto fame.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it? Be honest.
It has its perks. It has its days, you know. But it also has its days where you're just like, oh, I just wish I wasn't famous, you know.
That's me 90% of the time.
You're just like, For me, you know, it boils down when you remove the fame and you're human. We all have shitty days. We're just like, oh my God, I don't want to go out. Oh, I'm so angry with myself, whatever that's going on in your life. And then you go out and you're just mad. And then someone comes, oh my God, it's Mihlali. Now you have to, hi, how are you? And then some people don't know how to, hi, how are you?
And then they take out their pictures.
And then, please, no pictures. Like, this person genuinely, you don't know what their story is, where they come
what
from,
you've done, like how you've touched them.
So it has its days. Like I personally enjoy it because just seeing people light up when they see me, like they go, oh my, like people sometimes take time, they go, oh my god, let's listen to that, and then I can see it. Like I've seen this for 5 years. Like I've been in this game for 5 years, where people are just like, oh my god. And then now we're just trying to plan. Am I going to greet you? Am I just going to stare at you? Yeah, like where's Trabara? Am I going to ask for a picture? Like the most funniest fan moment I've had was someone came and then it's like, hi, how are you? Great. I just wanted to ask, what time is it? I'm like, oh no, it's 1 o'clock. Like on your phone, so I just wanted to say hi. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. And then he's like, oh no, so I just want a picture. Not for me. No, I'm not my cousin at home is a fan.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I was like, no, yeah. I'm like, okay, shoot her, babes. And then he's like, oh my god, I'm such a fan. I'm like, oh, that for me, like I love it, like because I do the same for like anyone. For anyone that I look up to. Like I'd also freeze. I mean, if Beyonce was here, would also be like you'd say, girl.
I also enjoy it. I think there's a lot of positives that come, the way you impact people's lives, and also just the opportunities that come with it. There's a lot of rewards, there's a lot of blessings. But I have bad social anxiety. So I sometimes really just want to go to the mall and just like no one stares, or I don't care.
And they stare at you.
Yeah, like things like that make me panic a bit. I don't know why I don't get used to it. So I think that's really the downside for me. And then another downside is just people not respecting your privacy.
I know.
I don't like that.
I know. Like you'll be eating and then someone comes, like you're in the middle of a meal. It's delicious. This meal is going in. Then someone just comes.
Or sometimes you'll be out with your friends, and like not all of us have friends. Like not all my friends are famous. So sometimes, there've been nights where I was at Rockets with friends, and then I catch someone taking a snap of us.
Yeah.
And obviously that makes the people I'm with uncomfortable. So it's just small things like that. But at the end of the day, the positives outweigh the negative. Shout out, we love you guys, and we appreciate you. We still have so many questions, child. So, what was one of the biggest challenges you faced in a business meeting as a young Black creative? And did you feel like it was harder for you to succeed because of your skin color?
Ooh, that is so difficult.
So as a Black creative, considering that the entire marketing industry is made up of mainly, it's always been ran by the old white man.
Yeah, old white,
So you have to sell yourself extra hard as that Black child. You are young also.
I want to speak on just the LGBT part.
Yes.
Like I also want to include that because for me,
I actually had a question.
Is it?
Yes, about LGBT, but dive into it, it's fine.
Like for me, to be honest, I was very transparent with who I am, and the reason for that is because I'm just also fighting for that little boy that's sitting watching my videos in Kwakwa that also wants to come out but is scared that their family is going to be like, oh no, you gay? Oh no, that's never gonna happen in my house. But you sit in a meeting with these Rubens, and you like, it's weird. It's weird because in the beginning I used to go to these meetings alone, and that's where they exploit you. That's where they take advantage of you. This is where they see good. And plus, when you see me, 12, they see you like a small child. And until then, I that's when I even started answering my emails as someone else. Like
that too. When I first started, I used to lie and act like I had an assistant. I worked alone.
Say kind regards, Lasizwe's management. Sent. Because if you respond as yourself, people don't take you seriously.
They don't take you seriously.
Until you are represented. Like I've noticed these days, people only take people seriously when someone calls and says, hi, I'm speaking to Tembi, Lasizwe's assistant, Lasizwe's manager, whatever. Then people are like, oh, okay, what's going on? Oh, and I don't understand why people are still only taking people seriously when you have like a group of people.
Yeah.
And as a Black person, I think also it just adds on, because if it was someone white, but you must remember, white people, there's a quote I saw where it says white people love to pull each other up. But black people, black on black, sometimes we like to pull down on each other. We like to drag people. We're waiting for one person to make a mistake, and then we're gonna drag you. We're gonna call all the endorsements. We're gonna say, Lasizwe did this. Yeah, you need to step back. Why?
And that's so evident on Black Twitter. Sorry to cut you off, friend, because Umdu would rather trend, or they'd rather make someone trend multiple times for negative things, but whenever someone does good,
positive, they don't.
No one speaks on it.
Nah, you'll post it. Hey guys,
and that's a serious problem.
It's a
within the
black on
community
black.
that we
It's
need to address, child.
So it's that for me, because now you end up even deciding to have a team where there's white people, because you know how black people are going to treat white people. There's that sense of professionalism, because sometimes you'll have someone who's black on your team and you're like, okay, cool, let's work. And then in the long run, you find out this person has been sabotaging you all this time. And you're like, girl, So the skin color thing is still a conversation we need to take long roots and just solve, because I think it's also just caused by white supremacy. We were trained that we must not trust each other.
I think there's definitely been a lot of growth, though. I'll never disregard the fact that there's a lot more black people who are taking up space in the industry, behind the scenes, in the marketing and branding and whatnot.
Definitely.
Which is really, really great, which also gives us the opportunity
and they're opening doors for us.
Yes, one another, and I absolutely love that. So just to add to the previous conversation is that I think another reason why people don't take creatives seriously, or people exploit them, is just that whole thing of undermining talent. They undermine talent.
That exposure mentality.
A lot, yeah. So once they see that you have a brand manager and you have a PR person, it's like, this person's more, in some cases qualified, so they understand the ins and outs of the industry, and they assume that you don't. So it really helps also just to, especially if you're someone who can't afford to have a manager right now or a team, it's just to open up conversations with your peers and other creatives. Because I remember when I first started, and I always tell the story, when I first started, I worked for myself. I didn't have a manager, assistant, nothing. And Sibu Banz and I were actually filming a collab. And he was like to me, this is a very uncomfortable conversation in the industry. Rates, very uncomfortable.
How much do you charge?
Sibu was like to me, how much do you charge? I was like, what the hell? He's like, show me your card, I'll show you mine. So I showed him mine. He's like, you're undercharging. He was like, Mihlali, you have twice the amount of followers that I do. You're actually undercharging and your engagement's crazy. So that helped me so much. So just small things like that can really help you. So
it's
just
uncomfortable,
you don't even have to know people's rates, but just to have a conversation, and just help each other. For me,
that conversation is very uncomfortable, because money, how when you speak about money, even to your parents, it's just ooh. Yeah. Even when you speak to your partner, when you say how much you earn, that's when now you guys need to get married.
You never tell man how much money you have. You always act like you don't have money, child. That's the first rule. But yeah, even if you don't name figures, for instance, for example, remember when I called you about the reality show? I didn't even ask for figures. I was like, so Lasizwe, friend, do you feel like it's beneficial? Is it something that you think I should do? Because I've been getting a lot of opportunities. And without even telling me figures, you were like, I think this is how it will benefit you, but in terms of this aspect, it's not too great, and this whatever. So it's just those kind of conversations that we should probably normalize important conversations.
Normalize important conversations.
So next question, pretty privilege, right? You know all about it, child. Do you think there's gay privilege, or do you find it harder to get certain opportunities because you are publicly gay?
Yo, you see.
What do you think about that? You could buy a TV show bag. I think I'm gonna be good at this.
Put it out in the universe. You heard it.
11.
No, for real, you would. And it's not hey, so guys, welcome back. Oh no, wait, so show me, it must be a conversation. But yes, anyone hitting her up from just corner now. Mimi in the beat. But yeah, pretty privileged. Being publicly gay, it has its advantage and disadvantage.
Do you think there's gay privilege in the entertainment industry? That's even a word.
I don't know. I think so. I don't think so. It's who?
And do you feel like you've lost out on anything because of that?
Definitely. I think if I wasn't publicly gay, I would have gotten all of these male endorsements, like your deodorant. I don't want to mention brand because we see y'all getting all these boys, but you don't get me. Maybe I'm not too masculine for them or whatever. But yeah, I think like it has its perks. Like for me right now, I collaborated with like I've collaborated with a makeup brand, I've collaborated with hair, but I get why maybe they don't want to collaborate with me because I don't speak to the market that they want to speak to your alpha male, and I'm not an alpha.
But how's about brands do better also and stop, what is the word I'm looking for? Boxing people. Like for example, a deodorant. Obviously they're gonna go for that sports person or that gym bunny who's super fit, but people like Lasizwe with deodorant too. So why not get an ambassador like that?
Wow, with deodorant too. When I see my deodorant, oh no, child. Like, that's the thing. So I'm trying to now like say, is there gay privilege or no gay privilege? But I think the privilege side of it is that you get best of both worlds. You get the female, and you also get the young gay kids.
And my hair endorsements.
My hair endorsements. You know what I'm saying? Quality over quantity. You know, do you say quantity?
Quality over it's quality over quantity.
Quantity is low. Easy low. But yeah, I think it depends. Like it depends on how you see it. But for me, you just have a more female based market if you choose to be feminine, and you also have just your LGBTI, because LGBTI members we support each other. Like to be honest, the love I get from the LGBTI is just unconditional.
And what advice would you give to that child who's watching you, who was probably, not in the same situation as you, because obviously you've always been very openly gay, but that child who has a very homophobic family and they're creative and they're being told that they're going to amount to nothing, and what are your words of encouragement for them?
My words of encouragement for them is literally just take all of these negative words and just start building a house with it. Like create a solid foundation with all of these negative words, because when you create a foundation you have to first dig and then put bricks in, and then you lay it with foundation. So all of the negative is now a foundation, and then you build from positivity. That's how I did it.
Let it motivate you. I always say that. I love that.
For me, like my mom wasn't like the best like supporter. She was just like, oh, my son is gay, child, not in my house, child, not me, having a gay son, and that's my only gay son, that's my only son. So I just had to just hide it from her for a bit, and then I was just like, girl, you know what, if you don't like me for that, I don't care. And then, she passed on before even she could see all of this. So she's smiling in heaven. I'm sure she's just like, that's my son.
I'm sure she's very proud.
She's like, that's my camera son. He's wearing red hair today, child.
I love that. Hey, no, please. Say bye to my subscribers. Tell me that you love them so much.
Young poster.
Say bye.
Young poster.
Say bye.
Young poster.
Uyazi ngiyakuphinda ufeatureishe kule channel and ngeke ngiphinde ngifeatureishe kweyakho.
Uyangiteknisha.
I'm joking, my friend. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, show me. Bye. Bolabs. Bolab and swearing.
Thank you so much for watching, my loves. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, please give me feedback down below if you guys are enjoying the segment. Who you guys think I should have next? What should be the topic of discussion? I do have quite a few in my notes already, but I'd love to get your guys' feedback. Go check out Lasizwe's channel and subscribe.
No, for real. Check out my channel. This new content posting.
Yes.
We'll post 2 videos every week. So, child, it's amazing.
Consistency.
Consistent queens.
Alright, thank you, my loves.
Thank you.